Right, I think we're in shot. This is a bit surreal, this must I tell you.
Do you want me to check? No, seriously, because I can see that one.
We're good.
Oh, you can
we
see
can see it, we're all good,
right,
thank you. Right, are we ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. Sorry, I'm a bit starstruck having Arlo White sat next to me.
But you didn't expect a ginger.
When you came in, I thought I said to Murray, God, he's dressed well. Yeah, it's weird. Anyway, we'll begin.
Yeah.
Well, hello everybody and welcome to a brand new episode of the Degree of Footy, and we have actually got the most incredible guest you can ever imagine, Mr. Ted Lasso star, Arlo White. Arlo, how are you doing?
Yeah, doing really well. It's nice to be here. Nice to talk to you, lads.
Yeah, no, thank you for taking 5 minutes and talking to us. And we're just going to go straight in and talk about your time on Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
Obviously, you did that skit with Jason Sudeikis, where you're both in the studio. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
But what was it like working with Jason Sudeikis?
It was amazing. I mean, he's one of the naturally funniest people I've ever met in my entire life, and it's hard to actually keep a straight face. And you know you're there, particularly during the promos that we did. And it all started in like 2014-15 when we did these promos for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. And Jason played a hapless American coach who was the Spurs manager for 6 hours because they realised he didn't know anything about football. And I just thought, there's no way that they're going to turn this into a TV series, because how long can that joke last? But it turns out they did make it into a TV series, and obviously they added a lot of pathos and character to the Ted world, and it was just a global success. And it was the right show at the right time. They asked me to do it, having been in the promos. And it was during lockdown when it came out. I think it was a slow burner in the UK because not many people had Apple TV. So it started in America and then came over here. And I think it's just been incredibly popular. I hear there's a 4th season. I've not been contacted yet. We'll have to see what happens. But that was one of the highlights of my career for sure.
Yeah, no, well, I've watched it all. I thought it was brilliant. I think you watched the first season, haven't you?
Yeah.
And it's certainly one of my favourite TV shows. I think it's just brilliant how they record it. But what was a typical day of filming like? What was that interesting?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, we go to a football club. I think I did 3 days of filming for each one, and then loads of like pickup sessions in an audio studio. But we went to a club called Hayes and Yedding, which is near the studio down in London. They had a main non-league team, obviously. They had a main stand and nothing else around, and I think they had some sort of influx of money from somewhere, but it had run out anyway. So behind the scenes in their stand, it was just like an aircraft hangar. So it was perfect to set up studios in. So Rebecca's office and all that's all in that football team, that football club. But we did our bits in the press box, obviously, outside, and you'd sit there and you'd read off an auto cue. So I didn't have to learn any lines, and do the commentary wasn't necessarily my style, but it was good fun. But then say it would be Chelsea against Richmond, and then be like, right, yeah, we've got what we need, and then all the extras and everybody around you would stand up, and a load of other extras would come in, and then someone would change the Chelsea badge to an Arsenal badge. It's like, right, we're ready to go again. Then this is Arsenal 3 months later, and you take your hat off and they do your makeup, and it's like, but it was just amazing how they put that whole thing together. But I was surprised how much I was in it. I've got to be honest. But I've recorded. They phoned me one morning and said, "Oh, we need a pickup line. The show comes out tomorrow." I said, "I'm about to leave for the airport. I'm going on holiday." And in the end, I was on my phone in my wardrobe for sound acoustic sort of thing, and I went something like, "I'm Richmond score and JB Todd, blah 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 blah," and sent it off. They're like, "Fantastic." I'm like, "That's going to sound awful." And the next day I watched it. It was great.
It's good adaptation.
Yeah, amazing. So it's great experience, really great experience.
And our last question, because we're being ushered now, but what would you say is the most memorable, funniest moment from Ted Lasso?
Well, from the show itself?
Yeah, or from doing the skit.
Well, I just think, other than the show's kind of like, you're there and you're doing a job, and you want to get these lines out, you don't want to make a fool of yourself and all that sort of stuff. I'd say it was when we did the promo and I was in the studio. Now I've hosted that Premier League show, Premier League Live or Live, because I showed you the video earlier. Rebecca Lowe is the main host, and I just wanted to get out of the way. I was waiting for my bit next door with Jason. So I sat in the corner of the studio just to watch it. I had no idea how funny it was going to be, but I realised I was in Rebecca's eye line.
Yeah.
And when he started, riffing, I just had to go like this, and I'm just laughing my head off. And I thought, I'm going to ruin this now because I can't stand up because they're filming. And I can't make Rebecca laugh because it's hard enough not to laugh as it is.
Yeah.
And that whole day, that whole experience was one of the funniest days of my life.
No, I know I said last question, but I'm going to...
Yeah, go for it.
Why not? Obviously, you did Inside the Mind with NBC as well, which was brilliant. You interviewed Pep Guardiola, Klopp, Salah, loads of people. What was that like?
I enjoyed that as much as I've enjoyed anything that I've ever done, really, because as an overseas broadcaster, the Premier League give 5 slots of 10 minutes to whoever gets them first. And I did Klopp. He was the first one. He was unbelievable. And Pep as well. Pep kind of sat down and not too dismissive, but he wasn't really that interested. But then he realised that it wasn't just who's injured, who is so-and-so signing a new contract, are you going to sign any players? All those sort of questions that they often get. And it was more about them, their motivations, their love of football, their philosophy, all that, and people loved it. The people that were being interviewed.
Yeah.
Salah was fantastic. Eden Hazard was fantastic. I mean, I said to Eden Hazard that I was a Leicester fan and he scored the goal that clinched the title. And during the interview, I said, what's your favourite ever goal? He went, the one against Spurs.
And I'm sure it makes
they clinched Leicester this month. And I said, you didn't have to afterwards. And he didn't have to say that. He says, I wanted to say that for you.
Yeah.
Pochettino was brilliant. I mean, these guys were just fantastic. And I think, the 10, 12, 15 minutes, whatever it was, I was very proud of that. And I'm glad they still exist out there on YouTube because I put a lot of work into it.
Did you ever get nervous before going and seeing them and interviewing?
I wouldn't say nervous. I mean, it's when you do this for as long as I have, there is a sort of sense of you turn the nerves into sort of a positive determination to do a good job. And you need a little bit of sort of, you don't want to be sat there like, this. So you've got to, adrenaline, I'd say, more than nerves.
Just kind of...
Yeah. And, unlike a game, if you're doing Inside the Mind, the editor can make it sound look a bit better if you cock it up. But I wouldn't say nervous, no, but that's certainly focused to do a good job.
Well, Arlo, thank you so much for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure, so thank you very much.
Anytime.
And all the best.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you. Well, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.